Hello, um, coming to you live, not really live, but from the pool. It's 90 something degrees out. I just came out. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I didn't come out earlier. I ran to the store and did some other errands and waited. I just thought I'd pop in and give an update of how I'm doing. I'm doing, not quite sure what that would mean to any of you, but I'm going into my third week. Yes, I'm going into my third week of 3 milligrams of LDN. And the first last week and the week before, I definitely felt like I had an uptick in most of my symptoms. But I just hung on like I have in the past and just said, we'll just hold on and see how we're doing. And it does seem to be getting a little bit better now. So that's good. I'm going to stay at 3 milligrams for at least another 3 months and see how I do. And I might just stay there for indefinitely. I don't know. Still at 0.25 milligrams of the Klonopin. I have no intention of doing anything with that. Don't want to rock the boat. Literally and figuratively. Been very busy. Family over. 4th week in a row that I made it to church on a Sunday morning. That's a miracle. That in itself is a miracle. Now, yesterday was difficult. I was very off-balanced and almost felt to the point of feeling like I was having a little bit of vertigo. But I just held on to the chairs in front of me. I was not going to sit down during worship. I was like, you ain't going to win this. You're not going to win. I know you want to win, and you're not going to win. And people coming up to me, oh my gosh, Lainey, it's so good to see you. You look great. That encouraged me. Much encouragement about people saying, we've been praying for you, and here you are, and you look almost so much different than you did a couple years ago. So that's very encouraging to me, to keep going strong, even in my hard days, and I've had a couple hard days. Again, is it the LDN increase? I don't know. I can't tell you for certain. All I know. Or is it the decrease in the Klonopin? Do not know. All I know is that it's been interesting. So it's Monday and no family today. Just quiet. My neighbors are in their pool right over the fence from me. So it's just me and my pool. But that's okay. I've had people. Yesterday, I did not do pool at all, as a matter of fact, now that I thought about it. I went to church. My girlfriend, who's been going with me to the other church, came yesterday, and she agrees that she will be going to Calvary with me from now on. She said, you're absolutely right. The teachings are so much more in depth and thorough, because Calvary Chapel is a national chain of churches, and their way of teaching the Bible is literally book by book, chapter by chapter, verse by verse. So where we are in the Bible is where we are in the Bible. It's not topical teachings. I have gone to church for most of my life that was topical teachings. And personally, when I started getting the book by book teachings, I learned so much more. So much more. So for me, it's gratifying, and I feel like I know the Bible 100% better than I did when I was going to churches that were doing topical teachings. And she agreed. She was like, wow, what a difference. She goes, it was like I was being told a story, and I absorbed it. And I know that next week we're going to be in the next chapter. Like right now, we're the assistant pastor's in Genesis, and the pastor is in Galatians. and they trade off. I don't know how often. As a matter of fact, my pastor had been preaching the last several weeks in a row, so I guess the assistant pastor does not preach that often. Anyway, that being said, I decided to treat my girlfriend for brunch after church. She just moved into her own place. She's really struggling. I talked to you about it before me going over there, and she's still got a lot of work ahead of her. So we went and had brunch, and their system, we had given our order, and we were waiting forever, but we were just talking, and you know how women are. We didn't really notice until all of a sudden the waitress came up and she goes, our system completely fell down and we lost all the orders, so could you reorder and we'll get it out to you as fast. So, excuse me, we were there for a long time. And then I drove her back she had left her car in the church parking lot, and I drove her back, and we just sat there and talked for another, at least an hour and a half. By the time I got home, it was 3:30, and church got out at 12. So by the time I got home, I didn't want to do any pool. I have not taken one day off from the pool, other than a day that it might have rained, so back to it. Gotta literally soak up every bit of this I can, because in another month, it'll be all gone. So I know some of you cannot tolerate the heat. I can, praise God, because I have a pool. I couldn't just be outside. The pool definitely makes a difference. And living up northeast, we don't get this enough. So symptom-wise, dizziness never is gone. It gets to a level of 1 or 2 so I can totally function, and then there are days it gets to between a 6 and an 8, and I still function. I still do it. I was telling a sister at church yesterday, she was like saying that her daughter has got some health issues, young daughter, high school age, and apparently she's used me as an example to her daughter, because her problems are gastrointestinal, and because I had H. pylori so severe and lost 55 pounds, which, by the way, I'm gaining it back at a rapid rate. I just said to myself just a minute ago, self, you need to cool it with the eating. I think LDN is making my appetite more. But she said, we've used you as an example as how to live in pain. And she goes, and here you are, Lainey, look at you. And I said, 2 years ago, I realized I had just been bedridden, couch-ridden, not driving, not doing anything, and it was then that I started trying to make strides of, this may not change this side of heaven, so I can't wait for the other shoe to drop. And especially over in the last year, especially when I got my car back last December, was when I said, okay, now you go and do. You're dizzy, you hold on to something. You feel weak, you sit down. You feel a lot of pain, oh well. People have got it worse than me. Everywhere in the world there's people that got it worse than all of us. You can always find somebody who's got it worse. Well, I take my guide by a woman who's in our church, battling breast cancer for 15 years. It has metastasized throughout her whole body. She has gone through more procedures and operations than you can even count on both hands and feet. And yet she still works in the nursery, in Sunday school. She's very active in the church. I mean, there are times she's carrying around an oxygen, and she's probably in her early 50s, so she's younger than me. Walks around carrying an oxygen tank. And I look at her and go, really, Lainey? Really? If she can do it, I can do it. I have another friend, MS, and it's in getting into the advanced stages of her MS. That there have been times she's been literally in a wheelchair. It's remitting, and another person that gets very dizzy with her MS, loses function of a limb to the point that she literally can't use her limb, and she still goes out and does things. And I'm like, why sit at home when I can be out? Again, this is me. Please do not think that I'm pointing the finger at you, but if the shoe fits, put it on. For me, I knew I walk every day 3 miles. I never gave up, as dizzy as I was. And believe me, there was times I literally was walking like this. I was walking. I didn't care. Didn't care. I'm stubborn. But I realized I didn't want my children, and especially my grandchildren, to only have memories of me being in bed. And that's what was happening. I was always in bed or on the couch. I didn't want that. I wanted them to have some memories of me living life. So I'm living life to the fullest. No, I still can't travel. My younger daughter and son-in-law are leaving the last week of August to the Cape, where my sister and brother-in-law live. They can't stay with them because my daughter's got asthma and is extremely allergic to animals, and my sister's got 2 dogs. But she's been begging us to go. My husband and I, come on, you can stay with your sister, and we could have just a great time. We'd go into Boston, do a lot of sightseeing. I've been to Boston many, many times in my life, by the way. I've done Boston many times, but not since I've been sick. I'm not ready for that because I don't sleep well in my own bed, and I just can't imagine messing everybody else's fun up because I'm so OCD about my routine. You know, I need to be in bed at a certain time. They might want to stay up and talk and hang out and enjoy the hot tub and stuff, and I'll be like, sorry, gotta go to bed. It's 10 o'clock. You know, I still have some big issues, which constrains me from doing certain things. But a friend of mine said, maybe next year. Don't say never, just maybe next year. So maybe next year for you. You never know. Oh, so before I forget, the assistant pastor's wife, who is friends with me and is a sister of a very good friend of mine, who was just over at the pool the other day with me hanging out. Known them for years and years and years and years and years. Her father, mother, and stepmother are up here from Florida. There's my girlfriend's son, the oldest grandchild of all the grandchildren, is getting married next week. So anyways, I spoke to him on the phone a couple of summers ago, so it was about 2 years ago, because he was telling his daughter, who happens to be a pharmacist, by the way, his symptoms, that he was getting really sick, and no doctor could figure out what was wrong with him. And she said, you sound so much like Lainey DeChan. She goes, you need to call her, Dad, because you sound just like her. Well, we talked for literally hours, and I said, you need to be checked for Lyme, but be prepared that it might say you don't have Lyme and you still could. He came back positive. He's got Lyme disease, and he's probably 80, late 70s, early 80s, somewhere in that area. So he's up here visiting, and I bumped into him in church, and he's got a cane, and he looks very frail. And I said, how's it going? He's going, well, you know, I did see a Lyme literate doctor who definitely, I got my blood work and I have Lyme, but I can't afford them. You know, he's on a limited income, being his age. And my GP says, yeah, there's no such thing as chronic Lyme. And so I told him about LDN, and I wrote it down for his wife. She wrote it down. I said, check it out, talk to your daughter. I haven't even talked to your daughter about it, if she even knows anything about it, but Google it, research it, look for somebody who could, because it could help you. Because they said, how come you're doing so much better? What are you doing? Because I asked him, are you treating? And he goes, no. He goes, nothing works. He goes, everything that I have seen or heard of, nobody, and I said, I know. He goes, so what's the point of putting us in bankruptcy at my age? But he's going to look into the LDN. I hope he is able to find it, get on it, and find some relief, because he looked pretty beaten up. Anything else? Grandkids are back from camp as of yesterday, so I will be seeing all of them more often, hopefully, this month. I hopefully will be getting on the boat several times this month too. Now that I know I can be on the boat, if they ask me, I'm going. Unlike last year, I went on the boat once on the river, never in any of the big lakes. This year I've already been on one of the bigger lakes, and I was perfectly fine. I actually did better with movement. I do better with movement. Mel debarkment. That's when you do better with movement, and I do better when I'm driving. Somebody in the Mel department said, my new job needs to be an Uber driver, because you feel better when you're driving. And I laughed. I said, oh my gosh, that's so true. I should be an Uber driver. So I'm going to go get in my floaty and lay back and just love on the sun. God bless you all. I have not been watching people's vlogs. I'll be honest with you. The only vlogs I watch now are Mennonite. These Mennonite women, they are incredible. They can do anything. They can do, you name it, they can do it. And I love watching their vlogs because there's no drama, there's no illness, there's no sadness. And I'm done with therefore you don't have to watch my vlog. If my vlog makes you sad, please turn me off. Do not dwell on sickness and sadness and negativity. So I read Amish fiction and I watch Mennonite vlogs. I have 3 I watch. So be honest with you, I'm not watching anyone else's vlogs anymore. No offense. It's just, it was not doing me any good. I had promised myself I wouldn't leave all you behind, and I haven't left you all behind because I'm vlogging. So you can always come on and see what's happening with me. I mean, I'd be a liar not to say that you're because I am subscribed to some of you, it will come up. But if it looks negative, if the picture is a negative or your title is negative, I don't watch. I will not watch. I can't. I'm sorry. Just being honest. I'm not a liar. I'm just being honest with y'all. Okay, so anyways, but I do keep you in prayer. Don't think that I still pray for you daily. God bless, and see you on the other side.